Okay. Hi. Didn't see you guys there. Good morning, everyone. So welcome back for those of you who are this is not your first time stumbling upon our stream, or welcome for those of you who are first timers in our stream. Okay. So my name is Nadia. So on this lovely cold, it's raining here, cold Wednesday morning. We're gonna go through a workshop which is creating dashboards with PowerPoint. I am pretty sure 99% of everyone in here are familiar with what is dashboard and what exactly is PowerPoint is. But the question is, did you know that you can actually create dashboard inside of PowerPoint? Well, I'm pretty sure everyone here knew about that. You guys just want to know how to do it, right? Right? And nevertheless, let's go ahead and go through our today's agenda. So for today, I am just going to give everyone a very brief overview of what exactly is dashboard, what exactly is PowerPoint, even though I'm pretty sure 99% of everyone in here know what exactly dashboard and PowerPoint is. And then after we've gone through that, we're gonna start to go through the technical part for today's workshop, which is we're gonna start by creating visuals for our dashboard, and then the main spotlight for today, which is building the dashboard inside the PowerPoint. And also maybe I can give everyone a bit sneak peek on how exactly does dashboard works behind the scene in the PowerPoint. Okay, so a little bit of a disclaimer for those of you who for today's workshop, all the materials that are needed is going to be in the description down below, and sometimes the mods will also give the links for today's material in chat. Okay, so in even for some odd reason, if you guys couldn't get any access to the materials, do type in chat so that the mods will be aware of it. Okay, so let's start off with having a little bit of a theory lesson for today, which is by having an overview of dashboards and PowerPoint. Oh, okay, chat. Just a bit of a reminder: if you have any kinds of question that you want to ask, no matter how simple it is, just ask in the question in the chat box. I will try my best. I will try my best and answer the question. If I didn't see it on chat, just feel free to spam it again so that I can see it. All right, let's go ahead. Where's my mouse? Okay, let's go ahead and jump into our first thing for today is dashboard. So dashboard is actually a graphical report of various data relevant to particular business topics, etc. Or long story short, it is where you compile all kinds of data into one graphical interface to make sure the data can be as effective, as compact, and as informative as possible. Dashboard is actually extremely famous today. Okay, and I'm pretty sure a lot of companies, even students nowadays, uses dashboard to deliver their information, and it has proven to be way more effective compared to previous ways of delivering information. And plus, it's pretty. It's very colorful. Okay, so theoretically, dashboard will also helps you to display data from this boring, unfriendly black and white view into this. Okay, it's very colorful, it's very eye-catching, and it's very interesting to read because it's very simple. Okay, of course it depends on how you create them. If you want them to be simple, they can be simple. If you want them to be complicated, they can be complicated too. It's entirely up to whoever develops the dashboard is. But the point is, dashboard will actually help you to close the gap between the difficulties in delivering information to different kinds of level of organization. Of course, not just organization, not just companies. Again, just like I said a few minutes ago, it doesn't even apply to companies, it also applies to students. Okay? And yes, this dashboard is created from PowerPoint. Okay, so when we're talking about dashboard, there are actually a bunch of dashboard tools out there that of we can use. Okay, they are just not just what we have in here. There are actually a bunch of them out there, and PowerPoint is actually one of them. Okay, so maybe you might ask, so if there are so many dashboard tools out there, okay, like the one you're seeing on screen right now, you might be wondering, so why am I teaching you guys, why am I showing PowerPoint instead of one of the dashboard tools that you can see on screen? Well, technically, dashboard, sorry, PowerPoint is accessible for everyone. I'm pretty sure everyone in here has access to PowerPoint. And PowerPoint is actually quite easy to use. Compared to the dashboard tools that you can see here on screen, some of them are actually very easy to use, while some of them also are actually very, very hard to use, especially if you have no knowledge regarding on that tools or regarding on the technology that is being used by that tools. Okay, you can't really use any of them at all. You can't really even display, you can even extract you can even import a simple data using that tools if you have no knowledge of it at all. Okay, and plus it's expensive. Okay, it's very expensive. Some of these dashboard tools that you can see here in screen, some of them are free. Well, actually 75% of them are kind of free, but the free version of them are very, very limited. It has a lot of limitation compared to the paid one. All right, chat, if you have any question, chat, don't be shy. Go spam in the chat box. I will try my best and answer it if you have any question. Okay. So next we have PowerPoint with a question mark in there. Okay, so PowerPoint is everyone's favorite method to do presentation. So whenever you have presentation, the first thing that came in mind is PowerPoint. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of stuff that you can use to do presentation out there, but PowerPoint definitely comes in mind. PowerPoint definitely is the first thing that comes in mind whenever we're talking about presentation. Okay, so this is actually that answers my question just now. So why exactly is PowerPoint instead of any dashboard tools that I have displayed just now? Okay, so for starters, PowerPoint are actually extremely user friendly. Okay, so they are even if you have no knowledge of PowerPoint whatsoever, because they are user friendly, you should be able to navigate your way to the PowerPoint no problem at all. And plus, again, PowerPoint is easy to use technically. Okay, and it's it has access. Everyone has access to PowerPoint, even though PowerPoint is not exactly free. Um, Everyone has access to it. It's easier to access compared to all the dashboard tools that I have showed to everyone just now. Okay, so for today's workshop, the data that we are going to use for today is global superstore.slxx. So all this data can be found in the link, in the Google Drive link inside the description box down in this video. And also the mods will actually give the links to that to this data set inside the chat box. Okay. Okay. So to spice things up for everyone in here, technically. Okay, so for today's use case, okay, um, let's have okay, give me a second, chat. Okay, let's think of a scenario. I can't speak. Let's think of a scenario. Okay, so right now it's October, and we have 2 more months till 2022. Okay, so a lot of things we have gone through for the past 2 years. So, what? Well, that's kind of actually out of topic already. Okay, so my point is, it's at the end of the year. Okay, and you, as the business analyst, or as the as an analyst in general, okay, it is time for you to show your sales performance, okay, to your boss for your yearly reporting. Okay, so let's spice things out by saying that, okay, you don't really have any access to all the dashboard tools. You only have PowerPoint, and your boss wants it to your boss wants the dashboard to be done, maybe like by the end of this week. It's already Wednesday today, so you have 2 days to finish it by Friday. Okay, so we are going to use PowerPoint as our own ways, as our own tools, as our tools to create the dashboard. So this is actually the dashboard that you will be expecting to get by the end of this workshop. Okay, chat. So before we start creating the dashboard, before creating a dashboard, we need to have a visual. Okay, so let's start by creating some of the common visuals or common visualization that you can find inside the dashboard, which is the line chart, the bar chart, the pie chart, or so so much more. Okay, so the first one, we are going to start by creating bar chart. Again, chat, if you all the materials for today can be found in the description box, and it can also be found inside the live chat for today. Okay, so go ahead and download all those materials first so that it can actually help you to follow through my workshop easier, because you can actually get your hands on. All right, so let's start by creating bar chart. For starters, remember, for today's dashboard, okay, we're going to create them to be dynamically linked to the data set, which means we are going to start by creating the visual inside our Excel. Okay, so I have my data set here. Okay, all this data set has been nicely done. Okay, I am pretty sure chat also has the same access to this data set. Okay, all right, so for starters, before we create chart inside the Excel, we need to create a pivot table so that it can actually help us to create the remaining of the chart easier. Okay, again, chat, if you have any problems, okay, to access the data set or to open the data set, you can type in chat, or if you have any question, you can also type in chat. We are more than happy to help you in case you have any problems. Okay, so let's start by creating the pivot table. Okay. On the navigation bar, click on Insert. Okay. Go to Pivot Table. Okay. So before that, click on this tiny tiny cube here, just on the left side of A. Okay. Click on it. If you click on it, it should be able to select all of the table inside this sheet. Okay. Click on Pivot Table. Choose from table slash range. Okay. From table slash range. Okay. You should be able, a new window should pop up. Okay. Asking us, we have selected this table range, which is the highlighted table. Okay. And it asks us, where do we want the pivot table to be created, the created pivot table soon to be placed. Okay. If you have an empty worksheet, go to the empty worksheet. If you don't have it, just click on new worksheet. Okay. Click on OK. Oops, sorry. Okay. Sorry, chat. Okay, again. Okay, let's just choose pivot existing worksheet this time. Okay, click on OK. And your pivot table should be created. Okay, again. Okay, again. Highlight the entire table from orders sheet. In case you have multiple sheet here, choose orders sheet. Okay, and then click on the entire table. Go to Insert, Pivot Table, which is the most left side. Okay, from table slash range. So you can choose either new worksheet or existing worksheet. Because I have an empty sheet just now, okay, so I choose to put an on the existing worksheet. Okay, so let's say, chat, if you have any trouble in putting the new worksheet, just create an empty worksheet first. Okay, create an empty sheet first. Okay, and then just repeat the step, but this time select existing worksheet. Okay, so I'm assuming chat has no problem. Again, chat, if you have any problem, type in chat so that we can help you in case if you have any problem, any technical problems, or if you cannot access the data set. Okay, so go to the worksheet that you have created your pivot table just now. Okay, you should be able to see the pivot table fields on your right side of your worksheet. Okay, that's good. Okay, so in case if there is no drop down table for pivot table button, you should be able to manage to still create a new pivot table, but you have to, I think it depends on the version of the Excel, if I'm not mistaken. but still you should be able to create them, no problem, even if you didn't have the pivot table option. All right, so now we want to create a bar chart. So for bar chart, okay, let's say, okay, so let's pick category, okay, and sales as our first option of field for today. Okay, so let's say if you do know where to put it, you can go ahead and put it on the mini four tables under the pivot table field. Okay, but if you don't know how to where to put it, where should you put it, where, which rows, which column you should put it, you can just click on this mini tick box on your field, on your desired field. Okay, and it should be automatically place it for you. Or if you can also feel free to experiment on some stuff. Okay, just go ahead and put as much fill as you can, and go ahead, feel free to move this fill here, the fill on the pivot table fill, so you can actually be able to see and actually experience the power of pivot table. Okay, so pivot table is actually extremely famous for Excel users. I think for a lot of users too, pivot table is pretty common for them. Okay, okay, so again, if you want to remove them, just right click. Okay, and remove. Okay, so just now I want to put category. All right, so you should have your first pivot table here. Okay, so this is actually quite important, and it is one of the best practice for pivot table. Okay, so it is very, very recommended for you to name your pivot table, because later on we actually going to go back to this pivot table to do some slicing. So it is good for us to name the table, the pivot table, so that we can actually right away recognize which pivot table are we referring to. All right, so go ahead and put sales category. Okay, so if you don't like where your pivot table here, just move pivot table and click OK. Okay, there you go. All right, if you want to clear your pivot table, it's on the pivot table analyze option. Okay, and you should be able to clear your pivot table. All the settings for pivot table is available in here. All right, so next, moving on to create the bar chart. Now that we have created our pivot table, we have named our pivot table. So click on your pivot table. Okay, and on your pivot table analyze, okay, on your pivot table analyze, and for some odd reason, if you accidentally click away the pivot table field, okay, and you don't know how to make the pivot table field came back, just click on your pivot table, right click on your pivot table. Okay, show field list, and it should show back all the pivot table fields that you have clicked away just now. Okay, pivot table analyze, pivot chart, and we have a lot of option on creating the visualization depending on how much data that you have provided. Okay, so in certain visualization, they don't actually allow you because of you don't have enough fields for it. For example, map, scatter, tree map. So you have to experiment with them a lot, okay, to see which of the visualization is actually the most fitting for your data. But for now, we want to create a bar chart. So there you go. We have our first we have our first ever bar chart for today. All right. So next, we're going to move on to creating the line chart. So go back to your Excel. Okay, go back to your Excel. So this time, we're going to copy, because we're going to use the same pivot table fields, okay, but this time with a different field. Just go ahead, copy the existing field, the existing table that you have just now. Copy, okay, and select the new column and paste it, okay, and then you can just change the new pivot table that you have a copy just now, okay, into a new field that you want. Okay, so for now we want to create a line chart. So a line chart is fitting for timeline. Okay, so go ahead and click year, column, order date. Okay, but this time we want our year at rows. Okay. Okay, chat, if you have any problem again, um you can ask in the chat box if you have any problem, or if you want me to slow down, or if you want me to be faster, go ahead and type in chat so that I can know. I can't read your mind, chat. All right. So same step as creating the bar chart just now. Okay. Pivot table analyze. Pivot chart. And we want to do a line chart. Go to line option just below the column, which is on the fourth line, 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth line. Click on OK. And we have our second visualization for today. All right. So no, don't worry. This is only just creating the visualization first. The formatting, the rest of the formatting, the legends and such, we are going to do it later. Okay, I'm just going to focus on creating the visualization first before we move on to the next section. All right. Moving on to the next one is creating pie chart. Okay, creating pie chart. So for this segment, okay, for this segment, we're gonna go again, copy the pivot table, paste it, okay, right click, show field list to adjust the field, okay, and let's choose country, but this time we want profit. All right, again, copy the previous pivot table because we're using the same data set, so you can copy. We are using the same data source, so it's okay to copy, but if you're using a different data source, you need to create a new pivot table. Okay, and don't forget renaming, okay, the pivot table. So this one is your sales. All right, so for this time is country sales. Okay, I hope chat is still breathing. Okay, so we have this new pivot table that we have. Okay, let's create a pie chart for this. Again, click on your pivot table, analyze, sorry, pivot table, analyze. All right, pivot chart. Okay, so because we want to create a pie chart, click on OK. Oops. I'm glad someone in chat actually answered my my statement. All right. So we have a problem here, chat. What is this? This doesn't look really that eye pleasing to me. Isn't it, chat? Do you like this kind of pie chart? It's like a pizza, but it has so many flavor in one pizza. Okay, so let's assume that your boss doesn't want to see this kind of pie chart. Okay, it's not really that nice, right? It's not really the eye pleasing. Too many colors. Okay, too many information in one visualization only. So in order for you to filter this out, epilepsy, that's yes. Okay, so in order for you to reduce the amount of information that you have in here, you we can actually just straight away filter some of these data set that we do not want to see. Okay, so how do we do that? Okay, on your pie chart we have sum of profit, which is the cost for the size for each of the slices inside this data, and then the country, the one who is taking the role for the each of the colors. All right, So let's say we want to filter out top 5 country that has the most profit. Okay, so click on country. Okay, click on country. Go to value filters because we want to filter top 5. Okay, so we're going to choose the top 10. Okay, don't worry, the name is only top 10, but we can actually customize them to be top 5 or top 1 if you want. And then we have a lot of options in here too. Okay, we have a lot of options in here too. Okay, so do not worry. Okay, so let's say top 10. Okay, by sum of profit. Okay, so what any kinds of changes that we made on our chart, it will also directly affected our pivot table too. So technically, you can do some changes here on your pivot table. It will can also affect your chart at the same time or your visualization at the same time. Okay, so okay. Oh, okay. So is something wrong? Okay. Um, if there is something wrong with my stream chat, please tell me. Maybe because of the bandwidth issue. My bandwidth, okay, not you guys. Don't worry. Okay. Okay. So we have a question here. Okay. So from Samila, can we sort according to country and the value ascending or descending at the same time? Well, let's go ahead and try. So for starters, we have sort according to country and then value ascending or descending at the same time. Okay. Oh, okay. Actually, you can only have only one. That's right. Okay, you can actually sort them by country. Okay, however you want it. Okay. The sorting can will actually take only one argument. So let's say if you want to sort by only country, so it will sort actually by country from ascending to descending. But if you want to sort by sum of profit, it will actually sort them by sum of profit. If more based on my Yeah, based on my knowledge, you cannot have two arguments for sorting at the same time. You just need to choose either one. Either you want to sort them by country or by sum of profit. And if you're asking for me, I would say sum of profit is actually quite more important compared to the sorting of the country. So it's better for you to stick by sorting to sum of profit rather than sorting of country. But it depends on your situation too. Let's say if your manager wants to see by country, then go ahead sort them by country. But if your manager wants to see by sum of profit, go ahead and sort them by sum of profit. I hope that answers your question. Okay. So we actually have another one visualization that we need to do, but it's not in the slides. Okay, that visualization is, let me make this pretty for you first. Okay, that visualization is okay. If chat notice on my final dashboard, we have this quote unquote what we call as number banners. Okay, I call them number banners, but I don't know the official name for it. Okay, so I call them as the number banners, which it actually will display the total sales profit, or if you want to change them to minimum, the highest sales, the lowest sales, however of your choice. Okay, so how to create that is by the same way, using pivot table tool. Okay, again, rinse and repeat. Copy, oh sorry, copy them, paste the pivot table, right click, show field list. Okay, and because we want the total sales, okay, based on the dashboard, on the final dashboard, we want the total sales. So tick off the country, and put on sales. Okay, we have another one too, which is sum of profit. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, profit. Okay, all right, so we want to do the number banners for both of sum of sales and sum of profit. Okay, all right, so for sum of sales, we have created the table for it. Don't forget the naming. Just want to put total sales, and for this is total profit. Okay, all right, so next is pick on any empty cell. Okay, on the formula bar of the empty cell, click on type on equals to, and click on the cell for the first pivot table, which is sum of sales. Okay, so it has to be done like this, because if you actually directly referring to the pivot table, you cannot do any kinds of formatting later on. Okay, same thing for sum of profit. All right, and now we're gonna go ahead and insert the text box for, where's my text box? Okay, we're going to insert our text box. Okay, and it at the same time refer to the one that we have been to the cells that we have been doing just now. Okay, okay, again, you might be asking, why am I doing this? This one is for the purpose of formatting. If you just straight away refer to this pivot table, okay, it will actually gives you an error, and it won't actually it doesn't allow you to do that. Okay, so you have to do this step by step thingy, okay, to make it easier for you. All right, is chat okay? Does chat? It's okay, chat. I'm gonna let you guys reach this step first, okay? Again, if you have any problem, chat, you can ask me, no problem. Don't worry. Don't be scared. Okay? Okay, if you're done reaching to this step, okay, go ahead and you just doesn't want to work with me. Go ahead and click create a text box. Oh, it's here. Go ahead and create a text box. Okay. Okay, so don't forget to click inside the text box. Make sure it's working. Okay, it's working. It's fine now. Okay. So on that text box, go to the formula bar for that text box. Okay. And we are going to refer to the sum of sales. Okay. So if you do it correct, you should be able to get this result, which is the sum of sales should be able to display inside your text box. Okay. Same thing for your sum of profit. Press enter. And you should be able to get your second number banner. Okay. So again, with this, you should be able to do some decorating or formatting, however you want them. Okay. So we can make them colorful. Okay, so again, chat, don't worry. This actually will be useful for you later on. All right. Okay, so again, if there is any newcomers here, welcome. Okay, and if you missed out the first part of the workshop, no worries. All of this stuff, all of the visualization that I have created, all the data set and everything, in case you missed them, all of these materials, the template for these materials is available on the chat box, okay, on the description down below, okay, or in the live stream, in the chat, in the live chat. So in case if you guys missed it, you guys can go ahead and download them, and you should be able to find all the missed out data that you have, okay, inside the Google Drive. All right. Okay. So now we have created almost all of the quote unquote common visualization that you can find inside the dashboard. There are actually a lot more than them, okay, but I'm not going to focus all of them for this workshop. I only going to focus the famous one and the one that we are going to use for our dashboard, for our final dashboard. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next segment for today's workshop, which is building the dashboard inside the PowerPoint. Okay, chat. So we want to get this kind of visualization by the end of this workshop. Okay, so let's start by creating the background or the bare the bare board, the bare level the minimum level of the dashboard layer first, which is by finding a background. Okay, so for finding a background in the dashboard, this one is completely optional. If you want your dashboard to feel full, to be pretty, to look so pleasing in the eye, not to look that empty. Okay, so we can start by picking a background. Okay, so my choice of background that I have right here is the background that I found from Pexels pexels.com. Okay, so um you can choose any kind of background that you want. Okay, of course, this is only the background that I choose, that I prefer. Okay, so remember, because this is like, yes, this is the base level of the dashboard. Okay, so don't go too colorful with it, because if you go too colorful with it, it will drown all of the visualization that we have created. Okay, and our dashboard won't be that pretty anymore. Okay, so go ahead and go to pexels.com. Okay, or you can just find them in the Google image. Go wild. Okay, go ahead and pick any kind of background that you want. Okay, and this is my choice of background. Okay, and my choice of background, I actually have them like this. Okay, my choice of background, I actually put them on multiple layer, because at first it was like this, but because again, I don't want my background to stand out too much. Okay, I make them a little bit dull by adding another layer. Okay, another layer of colors. Okay, and reduce its transparency. Okay, so by default it will actually drown out a little bit of the background, so that the background won't be too stand out anymore. Okay, again, chat, this is completely optional. If you think that you should have a background, go ahead, but if you don't want a background, you can leave it as empty as you can, however you wish. All right, so right after that, okay, we are going to create tiles for our visualization. So remember, the remain all of the visualization that we have created. Okay, all of this visualization that we have created, we are going to put them, okay, on our dashboard. Okay, so again, top sales by country, top sales by category, and top sales throughout the year, top profit by country. Okay, so by default, we have created 1, 2, 3 dashboard. Okay, all that is remaining is top sales by country, and I am pretty sure chat should be able to do that. Okay, I have shown chat like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways on how to create a visualization. So creating a new one, okay, should not be a problem for chat. Okay, or if you guys can just take from the template if you guys are lazy to create one. Okay. So let's continue. Okay, because I my visualization, okay, starts have this little hue blue of a color. Go ahead and create a tiles, add some tiles, okay, for your dashboard. Okay, depending on how many visualization that you have, or again, once again, these two, picking a background, picking a tiles for your visualization is completely optional. This one is for the aesthetic design or for the pretty design only. So if you want your dashboard to look very pleasing in the eye, then go ahead and decorate them. Make sure they are pretty as much as they can. It's just like a cake, guys. Let's say if you have a very well decorated cake and a very plain cake side by side, and they taste basically the same, which one do you guys prefer? Of course you guys prefer the pretty ones, right? Because it's pretty. So that applies the same thing to the dashboard too. Both of them are informative, but the difference between the bland dashboard and the pretty dashboard is a lot of people will go to the pretty dashboard because it's pretty, but at the end of the day, it both of them portrays delivers the same kind of information. Okay. So let's start by creating our tiles. So I'm just gonna add some shape here. Okay, I have my first shape. All right. This one is for sales. This one is for profit. These are the number banners. All right. Oops. Okay. Should be easy for everyone in here. Okay. Moving on. Again, chat, if you don't like the transparency level of the tiles, okay, you can just go ahead and for the fill, okay, for the gray for the texture, if I'm not mistaken, you can just edit them. Okay, reduce the transparency level for the tiles. Okay. Let me have a look first. Fill. Okay, chat. There you go. Right click, format shape. Okay, so you can actually edit the transparency level. Okay, again, right click, format shape to edit the transparency level for the tiles. Same goes to the background for just now. Right click, form a shape, and just edit the transparency level however you wish. Okay. Okay. So let's again refer back to our dashboard for the base level, which are more that we are lacking. So we have the tiles, we have the backgrounds. The top, the top of the dashboard design. Okay, so for that one, again, pretty straightforward. Shapes, pick the triangle one. Oh, all right. And then just change the color, the fill to black, or however you wish. And if you want to change the transparency, okay, select the wrong one. Okay, if you want to change the transparency of the top design, okay, go ahead and do it like that. And insert a text box for the top. Choose white so that we can you can see the word sales dashboard, and make it a little bit smaller, and use the ruler to ensure we are right in the center. Okay, if you think it's a bit too big, just tone down it a bit. Okay, put it back to white. Bold them to make it easier for us to see. And I like Arial, so I'm going to change it into Arial. And I have my base level of dashboard ready. Okay, so of course I won't change here the transparency. I'm pretty sure you guys can do that on your own. Okay, so by the end of the designing session, you should be able to get something like this. Okay, it depends on your what kind or what type of visualization that you have. Okay, because I have two number banners and a bunch of bar charts, line chart, and a pie chart. Okay, which is why my design turned out to be like this. Okay. Yes. You can actually do that too. Correct. If you want, if you let's say if you don't want to add another additional line or additional layer for the picture, you can also edit the transparency for the picture. Yes, that's correct. All right. So again, all of these are available in the template. Okay, if you guys couldn't catch up. Okay, the design all of this step here is available on the template. You guys can just go ahead and pick which step that you guys have been left out and start from that. All right. Now that we have our base layer of our dashboard, let's go ahead and put all of the visualization that we have created just now inside the dashboard. Okay, Okay, so to ensure each of the data is retained, okay, from the dashboard, okay, and you can actually manipulate the data in the Excel and it will be actually reflected on the PowerPoint later on. Just copy first, okay, Control C or right click copy is also can, okay, but on the PowerPoint, however, okay, oh, I haven't copied yet. Okay, on the PowerPoint, right click, okay, keep source formatting and link data. On the paste option, keep source formatting and link data. So in that way, all the formatting that we have done and the data will be continued linked whenever we paste the chart or the visualization in on the dashboard here. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Okay, so it's not pretty, right? You want to make sure your chart, your visualization actually match the aesthetic for the background for the charts. So click on this toothbrush here, toothbrush, paintbrush here. Okay, and you are free to select any kinds of style of visualization that is available in here at your disposal. Okay, because this the blue one here matches my aesthetic the most. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and paste it here. Okay, so let's do some fixing here. Chart title, let's take it off. Then okay, let's do some formatting so that everything in here turns out quite nicely. Outside, and then change the color to white. Okay, so it's easier for us to see. And then if you want the border, you can put the border in here. And hold on a second, chat. Let me check. Okay, outside. And so if you right click, okay, and if you want to do some formatting on your label, okay, you can actually choose what kind of information that you want to display on your visualization. Okay, this one is actually applies to every visualization that we have. Okay, so no worries, let it be like that first. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Total by category. Okay, I want to take out the legend and the chart title. Put it right here. Okay. Next is the line chart. Oops. Oops. Sorry, chat. Hold on. Get a little bit smaller. Okay. Should be okay for now. Okay. Ayo. Okay. All right. We have this, and then next one we have is sales by country. Oh, sales by country. Chat, if you want me to slow down, uh, just tell me. Chat title, legend. Oh, okay. All right. So you know the drill, chat. It's pretty much rinse and repeat, the same thing. Okay. So we have a question here. Is there any way to remove the blank text at the chart? Yes, we do. But okay. My main goal is right now. Okay, for just for now. Okay. I will answer that question later on. Don't worry. Okay. So again, everything is rinse and repeat. I don't want to waste my time and show the rest of the stuff. Chat should know the drill by now. Okay. White. Hold on, chat. Okay. All right. So again, pretty much rinse and repeat. Don't forget for each of the title of the tile, you should put them too. Okay, the way how you put them is like this. Okay. Oh, sales. total sales. Make it like this too. Okay, however you want. Okay, can you repeat how to make the pie chart text box to move away from the center? Sure, no problem. Again, how to make this text box? Originally, it's inside the pie chart. How do I remove it? Is by clicking in the pie chart, format data labels. Okay, right click on the pie chart, format data labels. Okay, label position, you can put it either in center, inside and, outside and, or best fit. Okay, so my choice just now is outside and, or you could put at best fit, sorry. Okay, all right, so once chat has finished on creating the dashboard, okay, again, I won't show the whole thing. It's pretty much rinse and repeat the same thing. Okay, just put the total sales here, the remaining or the visualization that we have created just now, and put the don't remember put the title for each of the tiles so that your manager can know this visualization represent what. I personally, you can actually use the chart title. Okay, you can choose the chart title here too. It's entirely up to you, but I prefer for them to be outside of the visualization. Okay, the visualization just shows the visualization. Okay, other than that, I would actually do outside the visualization. Okay, so by the end of finishing creating the dashboard, chat should be able to get this kind, oh sorry, this 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 view of a dashboard. But chat, I have a question. Are you actually satisfied with how the dashboard turns out to be? This is a question for you, chat. Are you satisfied with how the dashboard turns out to be? Are you? Okay. So I am not really that satisfied with how does the dashboard turns out to be. Why? Because for starters, just like one of the participants asked just now, we have so blanks here. What's the point of these blanks? And then we have this mouthful of number. Maybe. Okay, okay. That is a very unique answer. Maybe. Okay. Okay, we have these numbers which is very, very mouthful. Okay. And this total sales, which it's just not it's just not it. Okay, it's just not it. If you show this to your manager, maybe some of them are happy with it, and while some of them are not really that happy with it because of how the number turns out to be. Okay, the numbers here are not exactly on par. Usually whenever you're making a dashboard, usually it's either two decimal places at max. I don't like fancy, I see. But this dashboard, remember for the use case just now, this dashboard is actually not for you. This dashboard is for our bosses. So we have to make them as fancy as possible. Okay, but that is actually a very good answer. I like the answer. Thank you very much. Okay. Again, some of the numbers, they are very mouthful. They are actually not exactly your kind of number. I don't think your manager wants to see this mouthful of numbers. Okay, you want to maybe to simplify them, and this decimal point you might want to simplify them too. This number is very mouthful, so you also maybe want to simplify them as much as you can. So how do we do that? I maybe have spoiled it a little bit for you guys just now. So with the power of formatting, okay, we can actually fix all the mistakes that we have done just now, all the left out additional function just now. Yes, correct. Yes, that is true. So it is advisable to remove the axis number and remain the labels in a simplified format. So you want your dashboard to be simple, but at the same time, uh, to be informative as possible. You cannot be too simple, because if it's too simple, people won't understand a thing. All right. So how do we do that, chat? We can go back to your dashboard that you have created just now. Okay. Let's take. Okay, let's use this dashboard. Okay, or you can use your dashboard just now. Okay. Pretty much the same. Okay, but this one is for my site. This one is the completed ones. Okay. So for starters, let's start by fixing total sales by category. So right now we don't want this number here. So click on the axis. Okay, click on the axis right here. Okay, if you double click them, or right click format axis, okay, it should show you all this additional function or additional formatting that you can do for your axis. Okay, so you can set bounds, you can set units. Okay, you can set any kinds of display unit, tick marks, labels. Okay, if you have, but for now, because we only want to fix for the numbers, so go ahead, scroll to the bottom and click on numbers. Okay, so if you click on numbers, it will show you category general, format code. Because right now, the reason why the numbers are like this, because it's linked to source. So the source, the main data set is actually having this kind of number. Okay, so we don't want that. So go ahead and change to number. Okay, go ahead and change. Okay. Okay, chat. Where's my mouse? Okay, chat. Okay. Okay, chat. Sorry. For the axis, it was supposed to be only like this. Sorry. It was supposed to be like this. Axis option. Again, for axis, for formatting axis option. Display unit. You change them into any base number that you want. Okay, so for me, I want to change them to thousands. Okay. My mouse is missing, chat. Oh, my mouse is missing. Hold on, chat. My mouse is missing. Okay, there you go. Display unit, thousands. Okay, so if you put it on thousands, it should. Okay. If you put it on 1,000, it should be able to let you change. You should be able to get this kind of numbers instead. Okay, of course you can change into how many numbers, how many base numbers that you want. We have just now, we have millions, we have hundreds. Okay, we have more, we actually have more than that. Okay, nine hundreds, thousands, and then billions, trillions. Okay, however you want. Okay, but for now we want to change them only into thousands. Okay, so next one, again very much the same format: axis thousands, axis option, display units thousands. All right, should be good now. The display number for axis should be good to go. Okay, so for this, let me change it. All right, next is the data label. The data label, again, it's very mouthful. Okay, you might want to simplify them too. How do we do that? Double click on the data label. It should, a new window named as format data label should show up. Okay, so this one is the one that I accidentally confused just now. Category, change to number. Oopsie. Okay, category, change to number. Okay, so you can actually format the number into 4 decimal places, or however you want it. So this use 1000 separator is actually will automatically detect based on the axis by default. Okay, so you can also change the negative number if you have the maximum negative number that you want, or if you can just leave it by default if you don't know what to do with it. All right, same thing as the remaining of the visualization. Okay, okay, should be good to go. All right, so okay, remember the blank data here? We don't want that. Okay, so how do we remove it? Click on the visualization. Okay, click on the visualization. Edit data. edit data in Excel. Okay, again, chat, be very careful. Sometimes this can happen to you because of your uh, improper way of copy pasting, or by any chance when you created this data, whenever you created this visualization, okay, the visualization is not available in the Excel file anymore. Okay, so how do you fix that? Just simply paste a new one. Okay, just delete them. Find the category. Oops. So just reformat everything back. Should be easy for you. Remove the legend. Oops. Remove the chart title. Okay, and edit the data. Okay, so for this, okay, go to the pivot table for this chart. Okay, so the pivot table for this chart is this pivot table, which is the name of the pivot table is sales category. So how to remove the blank? Just simply by filtering them out. Okay, hide selected item, and it should be reflected on your visualization tool. And whenever again what kind any kind of changes that you have done in Excel, it should be able the changes should be reflected on the visualization inside the PowerPoint too. So but if by any chance you can't see the changes made in Excel, just go to chart design, okay, and click on refresh data. So if you click on refresh data, the changes will happen. Okay, so this one, if by any chance you couldn't be able to see the changes that you have made in Excel, for some reason it doesn't reflect it on PowerPoint, just click on refresh data. However, if again for some odd reason it still doesn't update, it means that you do the wrong, you didn't link the PowerPoint to Excel very well. Okay, so if that happens, just again, just copy and paste the visualization again to the Excel. Should be simple enough for chat. Okay. So next, yes, correct. Keep sources. But sometimes again, because we're humans, right? So we tend to make mistakes. If that anything happens, just go ahead and do uh, recopy and paste it again. All right. For number banners, go ahead and find your number banner just now. Copy. Okay. And bold them. Okay. Okay. So you should be able to do it very nice. Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. So you should be able to do it nicely now. Okay. Okay. So now your dashboard should be able to look a little bit nicer in terms of formatting because the format, everything has been done well. Oops, I messed up something here. Data labels. Okay. Okay. All right. So it should be okay now. Your dash, your dashboard should look nice and pretty. Okay. So for this part, okay, format data labels. Let's say you didn't like the orientation for the data placement like this. Okay, let's say you can actually make them separated either by column, by comma, sorry, by comma, by semicolon, or if you want to put it into a new line, or if you want to put it some space by going back to the label option again. Right click, format data label, but this time we're gonna go to the label option. Okay, so for the label option, you can choose how do you want to keep the data separated, either by comma, by semicolon, by period, which is the dot, new line, and space. So if it puts into a new line, so each of the new data will be separated into a new line. Okay, so it looks pretty nicer compared to before. Okay. There you go. All right. Okay, Chad, are you okay until here? I hope Chad is okay until here. Again, Chad, if you have any problem, just go ahead and ask me. Don't be shy. All right. So moving on. Okay, remember formatting. Right click, either at the data or at the label if you want to do the formatting. Okay, so you should be able. Okay, so for the next part, which is adding this tiny icon. Okay, so this tiny icon again, it's more on the aesthetic values for the dashboard. So if you have if you just leave your dashboard just like this, well, it is okay by default. It is informative. All the informations are there. The dashboard looks very nice. Okay, just ignore some of the part. The dashboard looks very nice, but again, it's not that pretty at all. So to further decorate, or to further to make furthermore to make the dashboard even more prettier or even more pleasing to look in the eye, so you can add some additional icon for each of the dashboard. Okay, so again, this is more on the aesthetic value. Okay, if you want to make your dashboard looks prettier, looks pleasing in the eye, you can go ahead and in insert, go to icon. Okay, and go ahead and type any kinds of icon that you want for to put inside your visualization. So again, if you want to find the exact icon that I have, it's all available inside the template on the Google Drive. The links to the Google Drive can be found in the description box down below. Okay, chat, I hope I get that out of the way. Okay, so by the end of creating the dashboard, your dashboard should be able to look like this. Of course, the orientation here and there is up to you. You can put this pie chart in here, you can put this bar chart in here, however you prefer. Okay, actually, the icon that I get, this icon is all inside the PowerPoint. So all this icon, this pretty icon that I get, all I get is from the PowerPoint. I mean, it's okay to get the icon outside the PowerPoint, like in the Google, but some of the icon, they are not PNG, or maybe they are not really that good. The quality of the icon is not really that good, not that HD in general. So I would rather suggest for chat to pick the icon inside here, inside the PowerPoint itself, rather than going for outside. So let's say for the first one is shake hands. This one. This one. So icon, just type shake hands. Okay, you should be able to find something that is relevant to shake. Yeah, this one too. You can have this one. Or next we have money. Okay, so I have this one right here, the first icon, and then my second icon is here. All right, and then this one is chart, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, I have chart here. All right, and a lot more. So if, let's say, if you don't know the exact name of it, you can type something that is closely related to it. It should be able to have it should be able to display what you want. Okay, PowerPoint is pretty smart, guys. Make use of it. All right. Okay, chat. Any question, chat? We're almost at the final part of our dashboard. Okay. Okay. All right. So the next part is, you might be wondering, chat might be wondering, how does the dashboard exactly dynamically link to each other? Okay, so at the back, okay, which is at the Excel and the PowerPoint, I have clarified this a few times throughout the workshop. Any kind of changes that you have made on Excel will actually be reflected at the PowerPoint, either instantly or not instantly. It depends on your computer performance or on your tools performance. Okay, so how do I do that? So let's use this dashboard, the pretty dashboard here. Okay, so my pretty dashboard right there is using this dashboard. So let's say I make, okay, so let's say I make some changes on, I want to see the data on Afghanistan. Okay, so you can see, not exactly. Okay, so you can see all once I selected the data, Afghanistan, all of the visualization, including the numbers here, are reflecting the data on Afghanistan. Okay, so when I see on the chat, on the PowerPoint, so again, it may or may not be reflected. So just go ahead and refresh the data. Exactly. Okay. So again, chat, remember, sometimes, like I said before just now, whenever you save your work, okay, and then whenever you reopen them, okay, sometimes the data, they will have this cuckoo moment where the data won't actually be exactly updated towards it. So let's try again. Oh shit. See, it doesn't want to work with me. Okay. So again, worry not. If this kind of things happen again, this is actually the problem on whenever you do filtering in Excel. It does actually by default. If you guys can actually see just now, if we do some changes on the Excel, it will actually be reflected almost instantly on Excel. Okay, but because this one is like a few days work, so whenever I close them, okay, for some reason the link data between Excel and PowerPoint, they for some reason they refuse to update altogether. So that is something that you have to be very careful on. So whenever let's say you are actually committing to do dashboard inside the PowerPoint, okay, this kind of precaution steps that you need to take, because whenever you start closing all your work, like at the end of the day, right, when you start closing all of your work, and one next day when you open them, whenever you try to do some changes on it and it's not being reflected, that is something, the risk that you need actually to take before doing the dashboard inside the PowerPoint. It does work. Okay, you guys can see just a few hours ago, I I actually demonstrate to you guys to chat on how instantly once I make some changes on the data, it's being reflected on the PowerPoint. Okay, so be careful. Even though this data actually linked all together, but for some reason it doesn't want to work. See, it's being linked, but whenever I try to update them, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't want to work. Yeah, it doesn't want to work. Okay, chat, but you get the picture. But you get the picture, chat, how exactly it's working on, and now it's being updated. I swear to God. Okay, so it does work. I already proved it to chat. But for some reason, PowerPoint wants to play around with me, wants to mess with my head. It refused to update the data, and now it works. Just now it doesn't work. Good God. Okay. So yeah, that is pretty much it. If you want to know how to do the slicing, how to do the slicing for the PowerPoint, let me show you. Not this one. Okay. So, in order for you to be able to get this kind of filtering, okay, filtering in PowerPoint is not possible, especially in slicing. I'm pretty sure everyone is familiar with slice. What is slicing? What is slicer? Slicer only works in Excel, even though you can copy and paste them in PowerPoint technically and keep on the format and whatsoever. Um, it's not going to reflect inside. Slicer doesn't work in PowerPoint. Yes, I'm using the slicer function. Correct. Okay, slicer only works in Excel. Again, slicer only works in Excel. It doesn't work in PowerPoint. Okay, so if you by any chance put slicer in PowerPoint by copy and paste it won't work. The buttons won't even work, won't even give out response. All right. So how do you do it? Okay. So let's, for example, we have all of our visualization right here. Okay. Click on one of the visualization. Okay, go to pivot chart analyze, insert slicer. So when you insert slicer, you can choose how do you want the slicing to work. So right now I want to do slicer, aka filtering. The easy word for it is filtering. Okay, so right now I want to slice or filter them by country and click on OK. So once you click on OK, you should be able to have this mini window here on, which is aka your slicer. Okay, so when you click on Afghanistan, it should filter out only Afghanistan. Okay, to clear all the filter, click on this. So if you clear them, it will clear everything by default. So you have to do the sorting again, the sorting again by manual. So be careful when using slicer, guys. Okay, so how to make sure all the visualization will affect only one slicer by one slicer. Click on the slicer, go to slicer at the top, report connection. Again, click on slicer at the top, report connection. Okay, so when you go to report connection, when you click on them, you should be able to see this mini window that lists out all the available pivot table that you have created before using the same data set, which is why just now I recommend for everyone to make sure to name your pivot table so that you can identify the pivot table that you want easily through this. Okay, so again, let's clarify. This pivot table name is year sales, sales category, country sales. So again, go ahead, slicer, year sales, sales category, total profit. click on OK. So if I click on one, and there you go, it should affect the rest of the number that we have right here. Okay, sum of sales, this one is total sales. Okay, your number balance should be affected too. Okay, all right, chat. Oof, again. All right, chat. So that is pretty much it, chat. We have reached at the end of our workshop. I hope then everything that I taught you guys to the workshop, you can make use of it in case you can make use of it on your workplace or on your studies by any chance. So again, like I said, PowerPoint is a very good option as a dashboard tools, but it's not as powerful as the remaining dashboard tools that I have shown you guys before this like this. Okay, so it is very good, but it's not as powerful as these tools that I have shown right now on your screen. Okay, so it's a very good alternative, and it's a very good way for you to practice your dashboard skills. All right, chat. Again, thank you for dropping by for today. If you have any question or anything that you want to ask, feel free to comment down below, or you can go to our social media and ask us there. We will try our best to reach out to you and to answer your question. And okay, so there is going to be a feedback form later on. It's going to be on your thank you email and also on the chat, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so again, chat, thank you for today, and I'll see you in the next. Oh, okay, so before that, do you have any question, chat? Today my chat is very, very silent. I feel very lonely today. Okay, chat, if you have any question, again, feel free to comment down below. If you do not, or you can just go to our any social media, you can just reach out to us. Okay, and I think that is all for me today, chat. Thank you very much for today, and I hope I see you in the next workshop or in the next talk. Bye for now.